Push the weight enough flex. Flex alive is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little.
Yeah, my dad put together a great team of coaches and, a great team overall. But, Mickey Bay is a part of the team, obviously. And, he got me super sharp, this training camp. He got my reflex, he got my speed, up. And, I felt a big difference from, this camp to last camp. And Mick did a hell of a job. And, so my whole team, everybody did a great job. Man, my dad is a hell of a trainer, and he don't get his credit. He really does not get his credit. I don't know why they don't give him why y'all don't give him his credit. Not only is he a great trainer to me, but he's he puts together a great team to bring the best out of me. My dad doesn't think that he knows everything. He brings in other guys to for defense, for speed, for different things to make me a better fighter. And yeah.
Drew Titan Bronze on deck. Power to the mighty LDBC. We strong in this piece. Salute to everybody. On this Sunday, November 23rd. Day after a great night of boxing, a great pay-per-view. And we're going to talk some boxing. Yeah, I know my memes tell stories. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Shout out to Debo Dev. Let's do this roll call real quick. Khalid, salute, fam. Anwar Willis, Gabe, what's going on? Jimmy Bernard, Ray's son, Adrian Vett, T. Hunt, salute. Jalen Hudson. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, y'all. T. Hunt, Jalen Hudson, Thomas, what up? Steve Elder, Matt, King Corleone, NBA D Nice, Robert Singleton, Mr. Tiptoe, Dirt Gang Boss, Brother Cole, Jason Bourne, salute. And Jason, salute to you in that Cash App heavy. Salute to you, Jason Bourne, heavy in that Cash App. I just saw it this morning. Man, salute to you, heavy in that Cash App. Salute to you, good brother. Much love and much appreciation. Thank you so much, Jason Bourne. He says, and the new. Salute to you, big brother. Jose, my fam, what's going on? Dow Big G, Mr. Shelton, Judd, Dion next up. Carlo Worldwide, salute. Yes, sir. Andrew Gray. Rick, what's going on, Rick? And new, yeah. Mashad, what up? Mansa Musa, my brother, salute. The Aquarian, what's going on? Eric Jordan in the building, always supporting, salute, man. K-Rod in the building, D, Main Biker, John Pounds, Dank Father, Del Riv, All Father. Family pulling up, man, salute, man. All right, let's get to it. J Man, John Pounds, Tim Harmon. All right, Dante Russell, DP Rocker. Let's get it, man. Good brother Tay Jones is supposed to be pulling up. I sent him the link. I want to hear from his perspective what happened. He's a fighter. I want to hear from his side of things. What went wrong. 254 Dunson, salute. In the meantime, let's do this. Y'all already know my memes tell stories. Village Brother, salute. And I don't care how y'all personally feel. At this current junction, if you don't respect Devin Haney at this point, you're just a simple ass hater. That's all you are. Universal truth. Salute. You're just a hater. And that's cool, man. That's cool. All right. As of this point, if you was confused about Devin's chin, his strength, his pillow fist, his PTSD, if those questions were not answered last night, then this ain't the channel for you. You're just on a bandwagon of hate. Just get ready. Whoever Devin announced that he's going to fight next, just get ready to deride that person. Just get ready for that. I'm expecting you to do that. Enoch, salute. I'm expecting you guys to do that. I remember, Chris, what up? I remember leading up to the George Kambosos fight. Oh, I don't know, man. George, he's kind of nice, man. He might, 3 me, what up? I don't know, man. I don't know about Devin. I don't know. I'm like, yo, listen, this right here is easy work. Oh, but he went head to head with Teofimo. I'm like, yeah. But Teofimo's different. Devin is levels above him. Well, I don't know about that. Well, I do, because Teo's been ducking him since the day of the flood. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? I said, you know what? Y'all gonna see. Devin has gotten no respect. But he's beating the crap out of y'all and earning it. And whether you give it to him or not, you know what? What's the greatest thing is? It's irrelevant to him. Because all I see is the work. I told y'all, if I felt that Brian Norman was like I don't know about this one, I would say that. And I know when you get down to the wire, when it gets close to the fight, you start second thinking yourself, second thinking your pick. That was never me. Now, did I give Brian a shot? Yes. You know what shot I gave Brian? I gave him a puncher's chance. You know what that means? Do y'all know what a puncher's chance even means? You know what that means? You know that is the most disrespectful. Do you know that's a disrespectful thing to say? Yo, man, they're going to fight. What about fighter A? Well, fighter A, he only got a puncher's chance. You know what that means? Outside of landing something significant, he's going to lose in every way, shape, or form. Let me remind you what I said. Devin's going to be strong at 47. I told y'all that. I asked y'all, where did Piddle Fist come from? Y'all don't even know. Y'all are just saying shit. PTSD, he would have retired if he was that rattled from Ryan Garcia. If he had PTSD, there were spots where Ramirez could have turned up on him. He couldn't do it. I told you, I spoke to Sugar Shane Mosley for an hour in front of the building that they were staying at. And Shane was telling me things that this kid was doing in camp that he never seen before. He said, no, Devin's a problem. And Shane was confused as to why he fought Ramirez that way. And, he had a lot of slick stuff to say. Fine. But what I said was, he did what he had to do to get out of that fight unscathed, because his focus was getting past Ramirez and rocking and rolling to the Ryan Garcia fight. And if you remember at the Fatal Fury, they were already promoting the Ryan Garcia rematch. By the way, Ryan could have still had the rematch, even though he lost to Rolly. Did y'all remember that? Or did you know that? They still could have fought. Ryan said, my hand's broken from the excessive masturbation. I made that part up, but whatever. He got one big form that looked like Popeye with smooth palms. I mean, he beat his shit. His palms don't even have fingerprints on it. But he said, nope, it's broken. So I gotta do something else other than fight Devin. So Devin moved on, all the way on to 147, and he fought who y'all said was the most dangerous puncher at 47. And guess what? Brian Norman still might be the most dangerous puncher at 47. How about that? But that's as far as it went. Puncher's chance. I said, look, Devin's going to be strong at 47. He ain't going to have to drain down. You remember Devin being on the scales at 135? His face all sunk in, looking like Skeletor, professional, because he never missed weight. Like Tank, like Shakur, right? He never missed weight. So now, he goes to 47. He ain't gotta drain himself. He's more healthy. I'm hearing brilliant things about the camp. He's literally sunning middleweights. I'm like, uh-oh. And then he gets in front of Brian Norman and he's doing all this bobbing and weaving. Oh, he nervous. What? Was Ryan Garcia nervous when he got in front of Devin and started doing all of this stuff? Was he nervous? No. Anything to degrade this man, and all I see is the work. Yo, he sucks. Not according to the record. I just baited some fool on Instagram just now. I want the smoke because I'm tired of y'all. Y'all are lying on this kid. I'm sick of it. Now, this is a double-edged sword here because we saw that Devin Haney's great. But let me keep my size 13 Timberland on your throat. No, I'm not going to let y'all do either. I'm not going to let y'all abandon Brian Norman's ship either. If you were over there, you better support him now because you know why? The brother needs you. You heard what I just said? No, I'm not trolling. That brother needs you. He took a L on his birthday. Do y'all know that? So all that love and, yo, get him, Brian. You know what? Y'all should be in his DMs and talking about, yo, Brian, you good? Better luck next time. You'll get him next time, man. I ain't gonna let y'all abandon that ship. Right? Here I am. What y'all finna do? Now, this thing went exactly how I told y'all. He is Debo Dev. Everything you said about this kid is wrong. Y'all been wrong. Y'all been wrong. Y'all still living through Ryan Garcia, the drug cheat, and the racist. The only people taking L's are the people that are hating on Devin, because all I see is the work. And anybody that disagrees, please pull up this evening. I would love to have a conversation with you. All I see is the work. Now, everybody that picked Brian Norman, it was just a pick. I heard a lot of people and what they said and what they thought it was. I want to know what you think now. Has Devin made you a believer? PTSD, what's that? What's that? What's that? Now, let me remind you who Brian Norman is. I'm not going to say was in past tense because that kid is far from done. Let me remind you who he is. That left hook knockout in Japan, remember that? Devin susceptible to left hooks. That sounds like when y'all told me that Floyd has a problem with southpaws. It was all BS. Right? Remember those KOs that we saw, those violent KOs? That's still Brian Norman. He still did that, right? Devin better be careful, right, Tim? I'm saving Tim Bradley for Monkey Tuesday. Oh, I'm going to go, bro. Tim, you about to get this work, bro. For a Hall of Fame fighter, in the way that we all supported you, you losing a lot of respect on this social media shit. I don't know who's paying you to do this, or that video I saw, that didn't sound like an unbiased professional analysis. That sounded like a lot of hatred. It came from a place, it sounded personal to me. Don't worry, Monkey Tuesday. I'll play it. But y'all keep eating your watermelon, your chicken, your fried chicken, and your biscuits with your bibs on. Sean Porter with his xenomorph mouth, chasing Ripley around the goddamn spaceship, looking ass. Looking like a xenomorph with a fucking nappy ass afro. Dumbass. Y'all lost many points with me, if not all. I am disgusted. The shit that you put on him. Tim Bradley, you got faked out by trolls when they insulted your wife and your family, by Filipino trolls after you beat Manny Pacquiao. You had PTSD from that. Sean Porter, the last time we saw you in the ring, all I got to do, yo, listen, you know how there's a safe word for an attack dog? You know what you do if Sean starts turning up on you in the street? You know what you say? Bud! And then back up. He gonna fall on the ground, start punching the concrete. Because that was the last time I saw your ass. You went from being a dog to being Bud's dog. And I don't mean in a good way. So all of this shit that y'all put on Debo Dev, all I see is the work. You sound kind of jealous. That's the term we used in our day. The term hate wasn't around. You sound kind of jealous, Tim. Sean. There's a reason why we call him Debo Dev. Stupid ass Regis Prograis still giving backhanded compliments. The schoolboy? Hey, bro, listen. Let me tell you how dumb that shit is. And salute to 205 in that strong house for 2 months, man. Salute to you, good brother. Much love. Thank you so much. Freedom's my salute. If I miss you in the chat, know that I love you. Let me be very clear. Right up the highway from me, I'm not too far from Connecticut. There's some schoolboys up there, some white boys with big glasses, and they walk around looking all frail. You know where they at? Every day after school? They're in those MMA gyms. Those boys will grab you and put you into a knot. They will bend your shit into a pretzel and pick up their books and keep walking. These little white boys, they ain't the little white boys who used to run from you niggas anymore. They don't. That's not them. They grew up watching UFC. They want the smoke. Just pay attention. You get up on that kid. He got cauliflower ears. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. I'm telling you, I don't care if you're out weighing about 200 pounds. Leave that little nigga alone. Trill Will in that strong house. God, for 41 months. Salute, brother. He said, it's so quiet in here. Yes. Bring the pain. Bring the pain. Because listen, I tried to keep it boxing. Y'all were talking something else. So continue to talk something else. Remember Devin was supposed to pull out the fight? Devin was supposed to be going to sleep. Devin going to run around the ring. Didn't I tell y'all Devin was going to be stronger than him in the clinch? Didn't I tell you that? I told you that. Now I hear that mellow yellow nigga, mellow yellow loving ass nigga is saying Devin got to go to 154. Is that what I heard? Someone told me because I don't watch that nigga. Go to one. Didn't I tell you they were going to say that? Didn't I tell you? I said Devin's going to make this look relatively easy. He might lose 1 or 2 rounds, but it's going to be relatively easy. They're going to blame him for the clinches. Brian initiated like 75% of the clinches, and he got turned in all of them. He got turned in all of them.
Not only did he initiate those clinches, but to reiterate and double down on what you're saying, if you know and you watch boxing properly, he initiated the clinches because he was looking for breathing space.
Yes. Those clinches was not strategic. It was desperation. He was trying to figure shit out. Because as soon as the first round ended, I was looking at Brian like, he was like, this ain't what I thought it was going to be. And there's a whole psychology behind that. And let me read the super chat because what I'm about to say here is very important. Eric Jordan, that super chat, he says, phenomenal fight from both these fighters getting it done. As the ninja sword goes, Devin Haney was blessed by the power and fury of the ninja sword. Heavyweight, I got you, good brother.
Then let him taste the fury of my ninja sword!
Aaron, salute. Now, let me tell you the psychology behind that. After the first round, you know what I like about Riyadh season? They put the mic right on the corner so you hear everything. And I was disappointed in Brian's corner. I'm just going to tell you what it was. I didn't hear anything too strategic. At one point, he was just saying, go in there and knock him out. What? Okay. All right, maybe I don't know much. I said, oh, shit. You know, I was, okay. All right. That's strategic, but.
No, it was go F him up.
Bro. Okay, you know what it sounded like?
2 dudes on the street corner.
It sounded like Julio Cesar Chavez versus Stormy. What's his name? That got robbed.
Maravella.
When they robbed him in the last round, Richard Steele robbed him in the last round.
Mildred Taylor.
It was getting translated from Espanol. All they kept saying is, do it for your family. Because nothing was working. And then he landed one. And then Richard Steele robs Mildred Taylor. But there was no strategy. After round 6, he couldn't do nothing with him. I learned that by round 2. I'm like, nah, Brian, wait a minute. And I'm watching the footwork, and I'm like, he can't catch Devin. And Devin wasn't running. And Devin said at the post-fight, I didn't train to throw a left hook. I just saw it. He threw it the first time he threw it. No, the second time he threw it. It clipped him on the brick of the nose. And then he started doing the stinky leg. I said, oh, shit. And then he jumped on him and dropped him. I said, yo. Why did y'all act like Brian couldn't get hurt? Yo, listen, y'all did this. Y'all making Devin right. Devin just said, yo, I ain't running from him. He was just next on the list. Remember, Devin went down the list and all of those niggas said no. Shakur, Tio, Tank, Boots, and I think we got the Norman. And he said, all right, he said you was just next. Now don't get it fucked up. Brian was dangerous from rounds 1 to 12. Because in certain spots he was walking forward. But at no point, I'm watching it in the crib like, nah, bro. Devin has to, and Stormy said this, Devin has to make a mistake for Brian to get in this fight. And I didn't see it. He controlled the whole fight. I gave Brian round 10. And I forgot what other round. But I think the other round I gave him was like a give, like, okay, I'll give it to him. One scorecard was ridiculous. One scorecard was completely trash, but it still had him winning. Devin. But it was a smoke session. And I want y'all to understand, y'all did this. And I'm talking to you knuckle draggers. Don't you dare abandon Brian Norman now. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare. Still support him. Stay with him. Remember what you said, because I'm going to remind you. And I'm not talking, listen, there were Brian Norman supporters, Tay Jones, my brother ATL Unanimous Boxing, and a few others. If you pick, even my brothers in the LDBC, if you pick Brian, that's cool. It's just a pick. But then there were other cats that I know came from the Tank Davis school of thought, which is not even school, street of thought. Baltimore of thought. Fake Baltimore of thought. All of that dick blowing you did, you threw it on Brian Norman, and now look, and I'm going to remind y'all, Brian Norman Sr. was here. Brian Norman Sr. said, my son already beat Tank ass. I said, well, damn. Damn.
What have I said about them damn gym wars?
The gym, we're going to get to all of that, Storm. We got to get to those gym wars. Because I'm going to tell you what I hope Brian Norman isn't. I'm going to tell you what I hope he isn't. But let me finish this statement. You guys, Tank Davis said he co-signed Brian Norman. Y'all don't know what kind of champion y'all got in ATL. That's after he whooped your ass. Last night, Devin gave him the business. That's just what I saw. Ain't no malice or nothing. He just gave him that work. It wasn't even close. Devin's at the post-fight looking like he is in this meme. Brian Norman looked like he's turning into the cat people. I said, God damn, he looked like he had a fight. What happened to PTSD, pillow fist, and no chin? Are you niggas gonna tell me that Brian Norman ain't got no chin? Y'all gonna say that? Y'all are eating these words. This is your fault. Stand on it. Depot Dev. Now let me tell you what I hope Brian Norman is not. I hope that Brian is not a legendary gym warrior. Do y'all know what that is? A legendary gym warrior is what you call a notorious sparring partner. A legend that everyone in the industry knows a guy like this. Oh, we have a camp. Yo, call up Charles, and they bring up Charles. They fly him from across the world, and he's able to get in there and mimic everyone's style and give everyone work. And he's strong. He got tools. As soon as you put him under those lights, he getting blown away. It's like, wait a minute. He had his pro debut. Yeah, he got knocked out in 2 rounds. What happened? He's so good in the gym. Don't know. It just doesn't translate. It's like that the #1 draft pick coming out of college, and then he gets into the league, and it's Sam Bowie. And who was in that fucking draft? Michael Jordan, right? Jordan was like, what, #4? And Sam Bowie was #1. It's like, what the hell happened? You see what I mean? Boxing fan Times 4 in that super chat, he said, I only gave Norman 3 rounds, 1, 8, and 9. I'll take it. Stormy, man. What you got, brother?
I'm still in celebratory mode for the simple fact that
Going to cook. I'll be right back. Cook.
Yeah, I watch the sport from the vantage point of where a fighter can come in off of previous bouts and give a display of what he has learned up to that point. If you guys can recall, Norman Jr. has entered this fight with Dev coming off of the knockout he had over Jin Sasaki in Japan. But Sasaki wasn't a world-class fighter. He was a guy that was a top-rated welterweight out of Japan, but he hadn't struck anyone fancy in the international circuit. But the whole thing with the challenge letter and stuff, after Norman had his match against, what was that gentleman's name he fought earlier this year? Trying to think of the kid's name. Cuevas. Derek Cuevas. Now, Cuevas had fought out of Puerto Rico, but had been a minor circuit fighter, meaning he's fighting on the Puerto Rico circuit. So a lot of knockouts and shown himself to be strong. But when Norman got in there with him and Norman hit him hard a couple of times, the guy didn't want to, mix it up or anything. In the meantime, on the flip side, Haney had taken on, going back, Ramirez, Garcia, Prograis, Lomachenko, and Campos Jr. twice. When you think about that, those are all top-notch fighters, even though that Ryan is not a world champion fighter, but he's class at the top because of his talent. And Norman Jr. went life and death with Giovanni Santillan, finally breaking through to stop Santillan in a thrilling fight. But he ate the canvas early against Janelson Bocachia. And before that, he had struggled somewhat against Quentin Randall. So when you think about it, it's like he's been in there with guys that he's had to compete with, and he had a couple of guys that he was able to show he was better than. Devin was his biggest test. They didn't approach it like that, though. They approached it as if they had something over Devin.
Yep.
And when you think about it in that way, that could only come from them buying into what the public sentiment is saying about Devin. But you can listen to public sentiment all you want to. But you listen to what people say, but you more closely watch what they do. How many fighters have gone the other way when it came to an opportunity to fight Devin Haney?
There you go.
That is the revealing factor. You don't see people lining up to go against his pillow fist. You don't hear people calling him out. Now, I'm not talking about when you talk about someone like Richardson Hitchens, because you know Hitchens is all baloney. That's all he is.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about the world-class guys. If you want to talk Tank, if you want to talk Ryan, if you want to talk Teofimo, if you want to talk Matias, if you want to talk any of those guys that were along that lines, even Boots Ennis, none of them guys were calling for Devin. None of them.
Notice that?
But he has made it known that he is receptive to face any of them, including Richardson Hitchens. But you see that it hasn't happened. The Norman camp received it because they were feeling themselves. They were high on themselves. They received the inhaling of the smoke up their behinds. And they got too full, too fast before they had done anything to increase their class. Am I saying it correct? Absolutely. Because when you go life and death with Giovanni Santillan, who is a limited fighter, that would have been the equivalent of if Devin went life and death with George Kambosos.
Time out. 9-12 all day long. Matias is a drug cheat. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Go ahead, Stormy.
Yeah. So saying all of that to say what I'm simply putting in the atmosphere is this. You know the fruit by which tree they fall from, huh? When Devin is out there trying to make the fights, he literally had a list of fighters that he submitted to Turkey to say, hey, I'll take anybody like this. And guess what? All of those men who he put on the list were noted fighters. None of them speaking his name. None of them.
Not one.
It's got to be something when the person swimming in the ocean is looking for the shark. Huh? Jaws, where you at? Huh? And the sharks is scrambling, scattering, getting the hell out of the water. But that's what it's been. It's ridiculous.
You know how you beat Jaws, Stormy? Live in the city and don't go anywhere near the damn ocean. I win. And that's what these niggas have been doing. That's what they've been doing. Devin's been there. Pillow fist, PTSD, and no chin. Magically, nobody on the list wanted any smoke. And fighting Devin, you're getting a payday fighting Devin. Do y'all understand Teofimo Lopez ducked $11 million to fight Devin Haney? And y'all didn't say anything.
Pillow fist. Let's break this all down. Pillow fist. Why am I afraid of a guy with pillow fists? Why? I should be going in there because I know when he touches me, it's going to be a feather. Huh? So I should be able to walk through that and give him what I got, right?
Yep.
Maybe the notion of pillow fist isn't really true. Now, PTSD. Now, that's something that you could say, well, you know, he got PTSD, so I don't know that he'll pull out of the fight if we sign for a fight or whatever. But he's never done that before. But you're saying it because, you know, you tell a lie long enough, people will pick up and tell it too. And next thing you know, everybody telling the same damn lie, but it's a lie to begin with.
That's right.
But PTSD, what is that supposed to mean? What does it apply to? What has he done to show you that there's PTSD? When the situation with Ryan went down, because they wasn't saying that before Ryan, but when that went down, All he was saying is, I want my get back.
That's right.
But how can he get his get back when Ryan runs away? You ain't said to Ryan, hey, Ryan, stop that running. Get your ass back over there and fight.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never said that.
Nope.
You say stupid stuff like, I can't unsee the left hook.
Stupid butts.
You never even talked about Ryan's left hook before the Devin fight, which he's landed on some other people and didn't get. When he got the ultimate result of the left hook, that was against less credible opponents. He's fought guys and hit guys with left hook. They've taken a knee. He's fought guys and hit guys with left hook. Some of them went out. He dropped Devin. Devin got up and kept fighting. You guys talk about that fight as if he stopped Devin. Not only did Devin get up, he finished the fight on his feet, won the rounds that Ryan didn't knock him down. But you speak of the fight as if he got knocked out. He didn't. Now, it was proven that he was on something.
Yep.
So the knockdowns could have been assisted by whatever he had coursing through his veins. Illegal substances. So what that tells me is the playing field wasn't level. He never made the weight for Devin's title, which Devin had to make the weight to retain his title. Y'all remember Shakur?
Mm-hmm.
His title was vacated because he didn't make weight.
Yep.
Devin had enough pride to say, this guy being an ass, but I'm still going to make the weight so I can retain my title. So not only did Ryan not make the sacrifices of cutting the weight to make weight to fight for the title, he never had any intention of fighting for the title. He still is not fighting for a title. But he didn't do what was necessary. So he never depleted himself to make himself vulnerable. Even with the PEDs coursing through his veins, he didn't do that last little bit. Those pounds that he didn't shed to make the scale were the difference in what was coursing through his veins being able to be benefit for him. That's why it's a science.
That's right.
So he had absolutely nothing with VADA testing going in against Romero, and he on the canvas himself in the second round.
That's right.
And had no stamina. None of that weird ass aggression that he showed throughout the fight with Devin, pounding his gloves in his chest and yelling and screaming, "Come on!" Like in your Van Damme, come on with the wrenches when he's screaming. That was Ryan against Devin. But against Rolly, he was awfully subdued, wasn't he?
Yep.
And then you said he cried in the car.
Come on!
Yeah.
You're gonna cry in a car. Let me get this super chat real quick. Boxing fan times 4. He says, run into him, hit the body. He don't hit hard. He don't counter punch. Punch, I already told you that. Great instructions from Senior the round before Junior got dropped. Y'all heard it. I was listening. I was like, whoa, what? Okay, I was just listening. And we did say that a lot of this game is going to be won by the corner. Coaching is going to win this fight too. And I just hope this is a learning experience for Brian Norman Sr. My brother Mount of Montemusa in that super chat salute. He says, word is Norman lost so much blood in that fight, they had to end the oh my God. They had to end the camel to give him some blood to save that was left of him. Come on, my nigga. What are we doing?
Good night.
What the camels got to do with this? Goddamn, my brother Trick Nolte in the building. He says salute and shout out to Haney, Abdullah, Bam, and Benavidez, and shame on Anthony Yard. He's a British Bruce Seldon, $1 million body, $2 boxing IQ. Hey, man. You know what?
$2. That's rich.
Yeah, bro. You know what, man? When I spoke to, y'all saw it, man. When I spoke to Anthony, I was like, what you got lined up? He said, you know, we're not going to tell you what we got in store. You know, I'm like, yeah. You don't tell what's in grandma's pot roast. You know, you just cook the damn thing. And I say this respectfully, he got cooked.
Blocks punches with his face.
Yo, bro, where the fuck? What
Blocks
was he?
Punches with his face.
I think that was the worst. Listen, David Benavidez beat him worse than Artur Beterbiev did. I mean, goddamn, did you see his face? And the round that he stopped him in, didn't the ref take a point? That was crazy.
Yeah, because he hit him while he was down.
Hit him while he was down. So, you know, then he said, all right, well, I'm just going to end the fight right now. I say, God damn, yo, it was bad, bro. I think that was the worst performance. I expected, but I ain't even going to hold you. I expected so much better from him. I really did.
He's got a Jared Hurd defense.
Minus the damn chin. Because Jared could take those punches for a little while until he ran into something he ain't see. But my God, I thought he was going to do better than that. But you know what I do see? You do see why Canelo wanted zero smoke with him at 168. Don't stop me when I'm lying. Now, mind you, he can still get that smoke because didn't Canelo try to get Badu Jack at cruiserweight?
Yeah.
Okay, he can still get it. But he don't want that. David Benavidez is an animal, bro. And he said, I'm going to cruiserweight. Next fight. I'm already reading people saying, nah, don't nobody want that. Man, shut up. All you people with the biggest mouths. I click on your Instagram. You posing with a blunt in your mouth. I'm not listening to you. What do you mean you don't want to see? Man, shut up. They're just as like fruitless and retarded. Like at work. Cats be like, man, Floyd, he couldn't fight in the 80s. And I'm just listening like, okay. He'd have ducked everybody. Like he's ducking everybody now. And I'm like, okay, they really mean one person. That's the translation. That was before the Pacquiao fight. And they say, hey, man, he would have fought Marvin Hagler. I said, you're right. Yeah, you know I'm right. Because Floyd ducks fights. I said, no, he just wouldn't have fought Hagler. Yeah, because you know no, they just wouldn't have fought. Because no, they wouldn't have fought. Floyd's a welterweight. Marvin Hagler was a whole 160 pounds. You idiots. Ladies and gentlemen, people have to qualify to talk boxing with you. Of course he didn't never fought Hagler. He just said, Marvin, meet me at 154. Marvin would have said no, they wouldn't have fought. End of. When Tommy Hearns fought him, what was it at? 160. Wasn't that 54, 48, 59? It was at the full 160. Stop. I don't listen to these dudes. Now you don't want to see Benavidez at cruiserweight? Man, Benavidez is eclipsing history right now. To my eyes, he's better than Canelo. And Canelo's a Hall of Fame fighter. But never forget, that Benavidez work, I'm holding that over his head. My brother Thomas in that super chat salute, he says, maybe now the boxing establishment will rank Devin in the top pound for pound list. He should be top 5, easy. Bud, Dev, Inouye, Benavidez, Bam, also Rest in peace, Vanis Rosen. Yeah, that brother had skin cancer. I had no idea. Very sad to hear of his passing. Yeah, that news just came out a couple of hours ago. Rest in power to Vanis Rosen. I didn't even know he was sick. Life is short, man. I didn't even know that man was sick, man. That's messed up. But nah, ain't no one gonna put Devin in their pound for pound list. That's why I don't listen to anybody. I don't even put a newbie there. You know why? Because I want to be a douche. How about that? How about that? And I'm admitting it. Annoying in the way. That's what I call him. He does not need my help. Oh, a newbie. Go ahead, just put him in the ring with Tank. Y'all know y'all want to. Put him in the ring with Tank. So Tank could beat up on a guy that's naturally smaller than him. Go right ahead. You guys make me sick. Bud number 1, Devin number 2. I don't care. Y'all clowns. What are you talking about? Usyk. You know what Usyk said about Bud? Usyk said he was number 1 pound for pound. Dummies. Look it up. Look it up. Stop it. And Bud just co-signed Devin. Bud said for Devin what Jared Anderson said about Joseph Parker when he beat Deontay. Everybody always wants to count you out. But look, Joseph Parker won.
Stupid butts.
Okay. See how that boomerang comes back and hits you in the head? Y'all counted Devin out, right?
Let me reiterate something that Devin has done. He has beaten the best guy at each weight class that he won a title at. Kambosos was the best because he beat Teofimo, who beat Lomachenko.
There you go.
He beat Prograis, who was bested by Josh Taylor, but Josh Taylor went on this kind of thing where he wasn't available and this and that. So Prograis, who had become champ again, he beat that guy. Now, Brian Norman Jr. at welterweight, because Boots moved away, he beat him. So the trail of destruction is good for Devin. He's beating everyone that has merit. What has Tank done?
Not a goddamn thing.
What has Shakur done? What has
goddamn thing?
What has what's his name? Matias. What has he done? But pop dirty. So as we look at this, you're getting ready to see exactly what I had said, and this applied to AJ when I initially said it. These guys are messing around so much, they're going to let the division catch up to them and surpass them. Now, we saw on the undercard Saturday night the next great lightweight champion win his first title, Abdullah Mason. You think Shakur gonna want that smoke?
Nah, if he wanted the smoke, he'd have got it.
You think that Tank gonna want that smoke?
Huh?
And whoever's at 140 better hold fast, because the kid is only 21. 5'9" with a 74-inch reach.
Say that reach again, one more time.
74-inch reach.
Whoa.
And he's 21. So about the time he's 25, he should be somewhere between 140 and 147. How about that?
Can I take this moment to talk about Mr. Rackety real quick? I rock, salute. I remember we had a troll in here whose avatar was Ryan standing over Devin after he cheated him, who said Superel Matias was going to come back and take over everything. You just wait and see. We're literally a year removed from that clown. And all your man has done is pop dirty. Devin was waiting and waiting and waiting. Longest 2 weeks in the history of man. Remember that? What's he doing now? He's fighting for his career right now. Rakete, rakete, rakete. Didn't he tell Turkey Al Sheik, I'm a high action fighter, I'm here? And I said, okay, great. And right before you was about to fight in New York, you popped dirty, bro. Rakete, rakete, rakete. You fairy. Hey, man, I wanted to see you beat on Teofimo Lopez. I like the fact that you slapped him upside his head at some event. I like that. But now you're popping dirty. You know what I can't say about Teofimo? He has no heart and all of that. You know, he's a racist and he's a bitch-ass clown. But he ain't popped dirty. Everything that y'all said about Devin, Storm, remember back in the day you used to say, I'm rubber, you glue, whatever you say, bounce off me, sticks to you.
Yep.
Everything y'all said has literally punched y'all in the face. I'm hearing all kinds of weird shit today because, you know, I don't check for the haters, but I heard the haters didn't go live this morning. Is that true? What, the internet don't work? Where they at? What happened? Because if that was Devin on the floor in the second round, if this was Devin on the
receiver, we running marathon live streams.
Man, there'd be 300 people in here right now trolling. You got to be kidding me. Is it that difficult to say, hey, man, I was wrong about this kid? Because in your mind, you still don't think you're wrong. You want to be wrong and strong. That is a sad state of affairs. You would rather be wrong and strong. You want to stand on your square. It's easy just to say, you know what? We had Devin messed up. Where's the PTSD that y'all were talking about? Come on, where is it? Yeah, taco hat. Gregory Hines eyes looking motherfucker. Tap. Y'all remember when Gregory Hines was in that movie Tap? Classic. Meme coming. Meme coming. Didn't Taco Hat, I heard he was on his panel going nuts talking about what Devin's not going to do, how bad he's going to lose. Did y'all take his betting advice again? He can afford to lose 10 racks on a boxing match. Can you? You see what happens when you put all your eggs in those baskets? Those baskets got holes in it, man. Hold on, I'm trying to bait this clown into pulling up. Man, fuck it, he ain't gonna do it. Bitch ass nigga. Man, I ain't gotta keep telling y'all to stop listening to these clowns, but y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do regardless. What's next for well, first and foremost, let me ask you a question, Stormy. What's next for in your opinion, what's next for Brian Norman Jr.?
Counseling.
Oh shit.
Because he got embarrassed, man. And his dad didn't help him out by jumping his ass right back on the internet, going on channels to talk instead of going back to camp and, you know, kind of gathering their forces and preparing to come out in a few days and issue some remarks about what their next step and plans may be. But see, that just goes to show the experience or lack thereof. Remember, though his dad was a professional fighter, he wasn't a good one.
Yeah.
So he's still showing that merit right now. I didn't say that he wasn't a good man or a good person or anything like
Pay
that.
attention, y'all.
I said that he wasn't a good fighter. Okay? And he's not a smart fighter, not a smart man, because he showed it in this moment and hour of leading up to this event.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing of arriving late into Riyadh, the whole thing of the promotion of things where he decided to become an internet celebrity instead of becoming a representative of his son's camp. It's two different things.
Can I ask you a question, Stormy? If Brian Norman by chance loses his next fight, is it over for him?
It's not necessarily over, but you may have seen the best of what he has to offer.
Damn, man. And I don't want that, y'all.
You
Hear
know why
me.
I say that? You know why I say that?
Go ahead.
The Jin Sasaki knockout, he himself termed it the knockout of the decade.
That's what he said?
Dude, you ain't beat nobody. Just because the guy, and they admitted that the young man had lost memory, short-term memory for a certain period of time, he couldn't remember something after that savage knockout. That is not something to be celebrating yourself for.
Yeah.
If you had done that to someone like Boots Ennis or something, though it's still not a thing to celebrate, it's a thing to take note of because you beat someone. But Jin Sasaki, I'm sorry, Japanese people and fans, he was nobody. Devin told you all that. But it didn't sound good coming from him because you love to hate him. But he was being very sincere. He said, I didn't even know the guy. I don't know him. I didn't know Brian Norman. That's what he said.
Y'all have no idea of what really went down behind the scenes to make this fight. Y'all think y'all know everything. That's why I didn't appreciate, and when I say I don't appreciate, what I mean by that is Brian Norman Sr. didn't do anything wrong to us. Like, I'm talking about me. But when you start talking about, phone calls and things when you weren't there, you're putting yourself in a weird position. And people think that they're getting armed with some sort of inside information. That's why when that I had two Brits that pulled up on Friday. The other one was just a closet homo that just wanted to talk to me. The other one been wanting to talk to me for years. When he saw some of my phone calls and shit, you arm these fools. They think they're armed with inside information. You start dropping names. You start talking about phone calls. Brian Norman Sr. was not on the phone call. There was 5 people on the phone call. I was one of them. He was not. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But you're right. He was being an internet star. And didn't I tell y'all notice Bill got very quiet during this camp? That means that he took this very seriously, and he's the one that gave you an opportunity. Although you was a champion, you wasn't the A side. Case in point. And people could say, well, how the fuck can a champion not be the A side? You want an example of that? Miguel Cotto versus Manny Pacquiao. Miguel Cotto was the WBO champion at 147 pounds. He was made to fight at a catch weight at 145 on fight night. And that's part of the reason why he lost the fight, because he wasn't allowed to rehydrate. No one wants to talk about that. That's the absolute truth. And there was space for a rematch, but by then, Cotto was 154. He said, I'll fight you again, but I'm not draining down to 147 again. And then Manny said, I'm going to pass on the fight because Cotto would have beat his ass if he was healthy. That's the truth. That's the truth. So when I say that this game was also going to be won in the corner, there was also one like in life on this internet shit. Every day, Brian Norman Sr. was on somebody's podcast or someone was uploading some interview they had. I'm like, damn, is he training this kid? And then the reason why I played this clip, and I'm gonna play it again because it bears repeating, of what Devin said about his father. Did you miss it? Don't worry, I'm gonna play it for you right now. And I need you to hear what Devin says. Listen carefully.
Yeah, my dad put together a great team of coaches and, a great team overall. But, Mickey Bay is a part of the team, obviously. And, he got me super sharp, this training camp. He got my reflex, he got my speed, up. And, I felt a big difference from, this camp to last camp. And Mick did a hell of a job. And, so it's my whole team, everybody did a great job. Man, my dad is a hell of a trainer, and and he don't get his credit. He really does not get his credit. I don't know why they don't give him why y'all don't give him his credit. Not only is he a great trainer to me, but he's he puts together a great team to bring the best out of me. My dad doesn't think that he knows everything. He brings in other guys to for defense, for speed, for different things to make me a better fighter. And yeah.
Bill Haney doesn't have an ego. He knows what he can do and he knows what he can't do. And whatever he can't do, he gets on that phone and brings people in there that can do it. They sit in a war room and say, okay, this is Devin's next opponent. What could we do to prep Devin to beat this guy? And they sit down and they get to work. Mickey Bay's in there and a litness of other people that are there. Did y'all know that Devin was fighting middleweights in his camp? Hence the reason why I said Norman is going to get bullied in the clinch. You remember when I said, yo, Errol's a bigger guy, right? Bigger than Bud? But what does Bud know how to do? Wrestle. In the first clinch, he started throwing Errol all around the fucking ring. I said, oh shit, look at that. I had it all wrong, and I don't mind being wrong. But I told y'all, Boxing Fan ×4 in that super chat, he says, Senior can learn from Bill to put his ego to the side and realize when you need help. And see, that's another problem. The man he lost this thing in ways that he can't imagine. He lost it. This was lost in the corner. It translated into the ring. And this was his first shot at the big leagues. And I hope he learned from this. I'm not talking bad about him. I'm talking about everything that I've seen. This is where we at now. Now, Stormy, what could he have done better as far as advice? Like, what would you have told Brian to do to prevent what we saw last night? Rod Nail in that super chat salute. He says, Bill said he also had Virgil Hunter and Floyd Sr. giving advice during the post-fight interview. This guy, man, Bill, and salute, Rod. Bill opens himself up for everything because he wants to win and he wants what's best for his son. And Devin is just a sponge of knowledge. He just soaks everything up. When I spoke with Shane Mosley, he told me the same thing. He said you could teach this kid. He's like a savant now. Teach him something and he's already doing it. There's a reason why they got to Brian on that list. Got to understand. 4 fighters told him no. Why do you think Teofimo don't want no smoke with him? But y'all keep talking about pillow fist, PTSD, and no chin. Y'all are liars. Now, Stormy, what would you have told Brian Jr., going into this fight? What would you have told him to do, if anything?
Well, see, that's a question that's hard for me to answer because of what I've seen from them. Mm-hmm. First of all, just as the comments are reiterating over and over, Senior spent a great deal of time on Mill City and on other platforms talking ish.
Yep.
I don't know what was being worked on in the gym.
Yep.
But we were being told that he has abilities that he hasn't shown.
Yes, sir.
We were being told that. Well, when it came time when the lights were on, there was no diversity. There were no adjustments to the degree that it would put him in contention for winning the fight Saturday night.
Yep.
Which leads me to believe that it's all BS. Because if that's there, then I can speak on what he can do, right? But it wasn't there, Drew and chat. It wasn't there. He actually came out, and I had said this. I'm watching the fight live. He came out and looked like he was stepping to Devin as if to say, boy, I'm coming to get you. In fact, just before the ring introductions, when they were standing in the corners, he and his dad were looking over at Devin and were having a little bit of a remark between the two of them about Devin, you know, and kind of smirking and laughing it off as if to say, look at that chump over there or whatever, this or that, right? But when he came out, the bell rang and they commenced to fight. Devin didn't throw a lot of punches in the first round. There were a couple of solid scoring jabs under a minute to go that he bust him with that kind of seemingly give him something different to think about. When the bell rang to end the round, he goes back to his corner. I noticed that the cameras picked right up on Norman Sr. talking to him right away. And I think there was something along the lines of, he can't hurt you, he's scared, and this and that. But I was looking at Devin's footwork. And if you looked at how Devin was standing, his rear foot was in a position that the only way I can describe it is as like when Muhammad Ali got to be a little bit older in his 30s, he would sit down and throw hard punches, but that back foot would be positioned like Devin's was last night, because when he looked to shoot his right hand, he was shooting it with a great deal of authority, which meant that I thought that Devin was looking to nail him with a real solid counter shot off of something, whether it was a hook or a right hand or whatever, but he wanted to make him pay. And then the knockdown happened in the second round. I'm like, there it is. So in other words, Devin had a plan. I'm going to make him respect me. And guess what? After that knockdown, because remember, guys, he got hit with a right hand first that buckled him.
Yes, sir.
Yep. His eyes were wide like a deer in headlight.
Like I wasn't supposed to feel that.
Right. And then he got followed up with boom, boom, and he went down. And when he got up inside the count, he had a glazed look in his eye. He wasn't all there. And the fight commenced after the count, and then the bell rang, and he goes back to his corner. That messed up all of his plans right there, because that wasn't supposed to happen. Devin wasn't supposed to be able to hurt him. He was supposed to have feather fists. He was supposed to be a guy that was going to be afraid of him and everything. And the whole table got turned over. And then there was no plan B. No matter what Dad Sr. was saying to him, he was the one getting hit in the face. You understand? Then the nose started getting busted up from that devastating jab. And no matter what Senior is saying, hey, you got to do this. Hey, you got to do that. Man, this sucker hitting me. What are you talking about?
Well,
so all in all, it's difficult to say, under these auspices, what I could tell him, because what he was showing me was that he was ill prepared. And I would have expected more of a prepared Norman Jr. for who he was facing. And as the rounds went on, it was because Devin didn't keep it on him and turn it up on him or whatever. It wasn't because, he battled back into the fight. So there was a lot to be uncovered there, which is why I said, when you asked me, what do you think he needs? I said counseling. And it does sound funny, right? But you know me, you talk to me a lot. When I say things, I say them with purpose.
Yep.
Because that means dialogue needs to take place. He needs to have a sit down with somebody to tell him what this is all about psychologically. Forget the gym wars. Forget the fact that you've been beating up on people in sparring and all of that stuff. You need to learn how to fight now. You need to learn how to fight. You need to know how to implement a game plan and to follow a game plan. This is not about being physical. This is not about being stronger than the other guy. It's not about hitting harder than the other guy, because he got hit pretty hard Saturday night himself, and he didn't deal with it very well. Devin got dropped and got up and fought back and was winning rounds, wasn't he? See?
Sure was.
So aside from that judge that was giving him a gift on the scorecards, one judge had it correct with 117 to 110 or something like that. That was about right.
Because it was a wash, bro. It was a wash.
I know it was a wash. I was wiping soap suds off my TV screen.
Man, I know y'all are aggravated. Well, the haters. Y'all are awfully quiet. And that's okay, but you need to learn from this. What does the sensei always say? Watch boxing. It's okay to support a fighter because he's from your city or he look like your brother or whatever. Look, man, but if you give an honest assessment, you ain't gonna have these problems. Because what's happening now, what I'm seeing with most of you assholes, is that your feelings are getting in the way. And you know who normally thinks emotionally? Women. As a man, you're supposed to be able to lead with facts. Hey, man, I fuck with this guy. He's my neighbor. I watch him come up, but you know what? This guy is fighting here. I don't know about this one. I'm rooting for him, but in order to win, he needs to do A, B, and C. And I haven't seen him even do that. So he's going to have a problem winning this fight. Be honest. And if he wins, you can celebrate. If he has another gear that you never seen, because that's what I kept saying. People started telling me, yo, man, I don't sleep. Brian got footwork. I said, he does? I haven't seen it. So what, was he just saving it until he fought Devin? Okay, if you want to go with that, fine. But he's going to need it. He's going to need how to put Devin in that triangle. And guess what? When he was in that triangle, a clinch that Brian initiated ensued, and who won those clinches? Devin was punching them all in the body, which took effect, and bringing a hook and hitting him in the side of his neck right here. He felt all of that. And at the end of the fight, y'all remember Beauty and the Beast, the TV series? That's how the right side of Brian Norman's face was looking. Y'all remember that? Hold on. Don't worry, I got y'all right now. This shit was wild, man. And I'm not talking shit. I'm just telling you what happened because we all saw the same fight, right? We all saw the same fights. He looked like, wait, hold on. He looked like this nigga right here. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all right now. Walk around here looking like the cat people. I was like, oh shit. Now, what could he have done to prevent it? Look, here's the problem. I don't think Brian, and I'm just going to say it, I don't think Brian, what he needed to have done, I don't think he had the talent to execute what needed to be done. And I know that might be a tough pill to swallow. Get your mind out the gutter. I said swallow when I could just hear Miguel talking about, I ain't. What you mean, swallow? I ain't. Fucking pervert. Now, no, I just, oh. What the fuck is it? 1 second, y'all. Unbelievable. You know how you just save something and, oh, here it is. Brian looking like this nigga after the damn fight. I was like, yo, what's wrong with his, oh, man. He was busting his shit, bro. Crazy stuff, man. Delano says a great fighter would never know he has a chin or not because he will put himself in that position. Devin understands that now. He always understood that. Listen, man, no fighter wants to get hit in the face. If they can avoid it, they avoid it. But you're going to get hit, and you have to do exercises to prevent, exercise defense and just do things physically and have a great camp so that if you get hit, you have a higher punch resistance. You know what I mean? So when Katz was talking about he was chinny, no, he was getting hit on the chin with a guy that didn't take his camp seriously, missed weight on purpose, was on drugs, right? Where Devin, when he fought cheating ass racist Ryan, sacrificed the whole camp and he made weight. All of that is making weight. That's exhausting. I don't know if y'all understand that. Making weight is a science. Ryan Garcia on fight night was about 180 pounds. Did y'all know that? Devin was probably like 160. And what was y'all response to the haters I'm talking about? Oh, now he knows how's it feel. What do you mean? He's been draining the 135. And he just rehydrates. What's the problem? If anything, he's at a disadvantage. And nobody could capitalize on that? Not even y'all Tank fans, y'all favorite fighter? Man, Devin is making it so difficult for these other cats running around and those lighter weights to make the Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous. I know, Coach, they don't get it. They just say, oh, no, it was only a couple of pounds. No. Oh, it was only a billionth of a gram. No, that's how much they caught. That's how much they caught. What is wrong with y'all? The lines in the building. 503 in the building. Y'all have no idea. You know what it is? When you try to explain it to you, you don't care. You start foaming at the mouth. Your lips get all big. I start smelling bananas through the damn screen. Your feet turn into hands, and y'all start just doing cartwheels around your crib, trying to justify Ryan Garcia. You know how much of a loser you got to be? The only thing you can hold over Devin's head, you can't even do that now, is the Ryan Garcia match where he cheated. That's where we at with this. And he could have rematched him. But Ryan said no after losing to Rolly Romero, which proves that the drugs is what got him over on Devin. You guys are disgusting. But I'm cool. What do I always say? Time reveals all truth. And I saw some video. I think the brother Aki put a video out about what Devin said. I mean, what Ryan said. First of all, Ryan, you put $50K on Devin to win. What y'all got to say about that? That means Ryan knew that Brian Norman wasn't what y'all were making him out to be. He said he put 50 racks on Devin. Now, I think he said something about he'll still beat Devin. Dude, do it. Stop talking. I'm sick of all you niggas talking about who, what, coulda, woulda, shoulda, woulda. Do it. And if he fucks around and loses the Barrios, I won't see him no more. Because now I'm on some, what has he done to fight Devin? Oh, beat him? No, he didn't. He was drugged up and overweight. Try again. Because after that, he lost to Rolly Romero. He didn't get that back in blood. Now he's getting a title shot at Barrios. You fuck around and lose to Barrios, which is a possibility. Don't think that Barrios can't go in there and beat him. He goes in there and loses to Barrios. Then what? What are y'all going to say? Oh, I know what y'all going to say. I'm disarming y'all. Why are you acting like Devin did it? Well, basically he did. Y'all Tank fans was trying to live through Brian Norman, right? I can live through Rolly. How about that? Fair enough? You knuckle draggers aren't supposed to be speaking on Ryan at all.
I had to glitch my internet for a second.
Oh, your internet's messed up? Your internet's jumping? There's a little lag on your end. Yeah, that happened to me one time. Something happened in my place and the internet flashed. I had to continue through my phone until the internet came back. You know what I mean? So, look, man. The haters are silent. They were so sure. They were so sure that Debo Dev was gonna get the foofops put on him. They were so sure. So sure Stormy will be back. They were so sure. You failed. Y'all failed. Let me talk to the Tank fans for a quick second. Motherfuck y'all. That's the energy I'm giving y'all tonight. Sean Porter, keep eating that chicken. Tim Bradley, Tuesday, I got you. I got you Tuesday. Don't worry about it. And I guess I'm gonna be cooking on this probably the rest of the week. I'm gonna be cooking on this probably for the rest of the damn week because y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve it. I done told the truth about Tank, which was never good for his fanatics. Never ever good. So I'm gonna talk up Devin because I can. And I'm not even gonna get that deep about brother BFTB telling them, y'all don't need to be fighting Devin right now. Y'all need to be doing other things. Build that fight up. Go get another belt. And y'all can meet for undisputed at 47. Told him that. You know. But you know, things got ugly, and you know, I stayed out of it. But now look, and that's why I asked. Brian Norman's not done. But you see, he lost to Debo Dev. Do y'all think Brian Norman can afford to lose his next fight? He's a champion, and I'm gonna tell you something else. He's a champion, right? Well, he's a former champion. He just lost. So he's gonna drop in those WBO rankings. And I knew there was something fishy because Bob Arum didn't even make the trip. Something weird about that to me. Let me ask you a question. He loses his next fight. What happens with him? I mean, you tell me. They're going to bust him down to gatekeeper status so fast, it's going to be ridiculous. He's going to find out exactly why he should have not fucked with Top Rank. John says, you think he get an immediate title shot like Ryan? No. You know why? Ryan could do whatever he want. He got the complexion for the protection. They like his hair. They like his body. They like his tattoos. You know what I mean? They love Ryan. They don't care what he said. He said everything right about black people. He said everything right about black people. So, I mean, Ryan could do whatever he wants to do. He told y'all, I can do what I want. Nobody will do anything. You understand? So, Norman doesn't have that same carte blanche. You know why? Although he's a light-skinned Negro, he looks like a fighter. He got nappy hair. He wears a do-rag. He's not flashy. You know, he's a blue-collar worker in that ring. He's the factory worker. He's not the office worker. They don't like that. They can either get behind the coonery like Tank Davis and protect him because he's a cute little yellow nigga with slant eyes, or the flashy black kid, which is the opposite of Tank, with more the talent. They don't want that, but you gotta make a smear campaign to tear him down in Devin. Brian Norman doesn't check either of those boxes. He says he wears $5 shirts. I respect it. I said Brian Norman is an old soul. I respect it. But you gotta win, brother. So now I'm concerned if Brian Norman Jr. gets in the ring because there is no light work at this point. He lost the title. He's not a mandatory no more. He might not drop down. He might drop all the way down to number 5. I haven't looked at the rankings. But with whoever he's fighting next, and here's another thing. Now there's a blueprint out on him. Now there's a blueprint. The next person he fight, they're going to be dancing around him and trying to hit him. Yo, listen. When Foreman lost to Ali, later on, Foreman, after he had a clown fight when he beat 5 people in a row, he fought a guy named Jimmy Young. Let me give you a little history lesson, as my dad told me and my uncles told me. Felix Nunez in that Super Chat salute, he says, still a Norman fan, root for him, but he chinny. There it is. There it is. He said it. I didn't. Exactly. Tiger Johnson, Rohan Polanco. Yo, listen. It's shark infested. All of those guys got tools. Now, getting back to my point, George Foreman fought Jimmy in the Bronx. The Latinos was calling him Jimmy Jung. Jimmy Jung. Oh, yeah, Foreman. He fight Jimmy Jung. Jimmy Jung. George Foreman fought Jimmy Jung, I think in Puerto Rico. And Jimmy Jung boxed his face in. And I think that's the fight where George went in the back and almost died. Stormy, am I right on that? Is that the fight where he just chilled for a minute and left?
Yeah, that was the fight where in the locker room, Foreman started running around. He wanted to run out the locker room butt naked. And they thought something was wrong with him. He was having some kind of mental breakdown, but George said that the Holy Ghost took over him. And that was his last fight for 10 years.
Last fight for a decade, y'all. Last fight for a decade. But if you go watch the fight's on YouTube. Jimmy didn't stand in front of George. Now, on paper, you would pick Ken Norton and Joe Frazier over Jimmy Young. But Jimmy Young boxed his face in, and he went in the back and almost died. Heat exhaustion and all of that. Whether it was heat exhaustion or the Holy Ghost, whatever. If Brian Norman fights any one of these guys, because now they have something to go off of. Before it was, oh, he's a scary puncher. I'm hearing all the gym stories. Oh, that left hook in Japan knocked 6 months off of that kid's life. Devin said, I don't give a fuck about none of that, bro. You ain't gonna land that on me. And did he land it on him? No. When he did hit him, Devin ate it. Sort of like when Canelo hit Bud a few times and nothing happened.
It's also like when Mike Tyson got hit by Razor Ruddock. Razor Ruddock was knocking dudes' heads off.
Yup. And Mike ate it and hit him back.
Mike, he hit Mike literally with excuse me, my phone was ringing. He literally hit Mike with the smash. Mike had bent down and he actually hit Mike in the chin with it, and Mike's mouthpiece fell out his mouth, but he didn't go nowhere. He didn't go anywhere.
I remember Diego Corrales was supposed to kill Floyd Mayweather. I remember Canelo Alvarez was supposed to kill Floyd Mayweather. Jimmy Young was supposed to die by the hands of George Foreman. Evander Holyfield was supposed to die by the hands of Mike Tyson. And there's a litness of fights, and it goes on and on and on. And I said, you know what? History is just repeating itself. Y'all putting all this stock in Brian Norman, and I don't see it. And let me tell you something. Y'all might not know. The Corrales Mayweather fight, that wasn't Money May. That was Pretty Boy Floyd, y'all. Corrales was bigger, stronger, and he was knocking out everybody. He couldn't touch Floyd, and Floyd spun him out several times. Spun his ass right out. So I said, we've been here before. I don't see what y'all seeing, Brian, and I'm saying this respectfully. But he has a puncher's chance, right? And just like I said, you saw an A-class fighter versus a C-class fighter at best who had a puncher's chance and got dropped by a pillow-fisted, chinny fighter with PTSD. See? Y'all did this. Y'all, with all this bullshit, y'all made Brian Norman's stock drop. Now, people that don't know boxing, they're online saying right now, oh, Brian Norman was a cherry pick. I'm baiting a dude right now on the gram. Cherry pick? How do you cherry pick a champion? Please explain that. This was Devin's first fight at welterweight against one of the most dangerous punchers at that division. The most dangerous puncher at that division. They're already diminishing it. Y'all are cutting down Brian to cut down Devin. Y'all hatred shines. So we just popping our collar. So Devin Haney's victorious over Brian Norman. I told you and I explained to you why. He has to win his next fight. And I have to see some things with his footwork. I would like to see his dad study the next opponent and bring people into the camp. Because obviously he needs some help. And there's no harm in saying he needs some help. Devin just told you, his father doesn't work the corner alone. He brought people in to help. That's what you do. Don't talk me to death. Crazy stuff, man. Storm, we're going to get out of here. Let them know where they can find you, good brother.
Everybody can find me right here on YouTube. Stormy B-Man is the channel. That's Stormy B-Man in all caps, but no cap. You guys can also follow me on Rumble under the same title name, Stormy B-Man.
Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. Much love to all of y'all. And again, salute to my brother Jason Bourne, heavy in that Cash App. I just saw it this morning. My bad, yo. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow. You know, follow me on Rumble. I'm having a problem with my Rumble. It's frozen for some reason. But follow me, especially on Patreon, because I produce and get loose over there. I play the music I want, and I F-bomb, and Miguel can't do nothing. But all you Devin Haney haters, I'm on y'all bumper. So shout out to the GOAT.
All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your
It
mom
makes me so mad. Long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of the stable tonight. You gotta be cool because you've been watched.
Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.